The Rings of Power, episode 4, done and dusted. Now out for you guys to go and check out on Amazon Prime. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on episode 4. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of episode 4? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And let's get into this review of episode 4 of The Rings of Power.
Without it, what am I to be?
Okay, so episode 4 done and dusted. Look, so far, this Lord of the Rings spin-off show, prequel, whatever you want to call it, Rings of Power, I have had problems with the first episode. I wouldn't say I hate it, but I think it could be better. Loved the second episode. Absolutely loved it. The third episode, I was kind of a bit like, same problems as episode 1. Now we move into episode 4. And I tell you what, this is the best episode for me. I absolutely loved this episode. I am now back in with this whole season and series again. This has just done exactly what episode 2 did for me, but better. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I think what I like about this episode the most is they didn't linger in scenes. Their pacing was so much better in this episode. I didn't feel like I was going to sleep. I didn't feel like I was getting bored or we were lingering in a scene. We felt like they were pushing. They got to the point of the scene and moved on. They got to the point, moved on. They weren't just there lingering. What I also really liked about this episode as well is now I have a sense of direction of where we're going and what is going on completely now. Now I feel like I am invested in the story because I have an idea of where this story is going to go. And I think this episode was the episode that really clicked it for me and really showed me, okay, now I know what's going to happen. Now I have an idea. Where I feel like the second episode did that a bit, and then the third episode kind of went back to what episode 1 was, and I kind of felt like, okay, I didn't really get much out of that episode, but this one I got a lot. So we've got stuff with the elf that was captured by the orcs. That storyline, that was absolutely awesome as well. My favorite character is back. Elrond is back in this episode, and he features a lot in this episode with Durin, and I love their relationship. Durin and Elrond's relationship is absolutely brilliant, and everything to do with them on screen was just, I was eating it up. That to me is so interesting, and I loved every moment of it. Elrond is easily my favorite character in this show right now. I'm loving where he's going, the talks he has with Durin, how he's being there as a friend, how they basically are like brothers. And it's just really awesome to see that. We also got more stuff with Galadriel and what's going on with this big prophecy that is supposed to be happening to that particular city, which it was visually insane when it went to the dream sequence and we saw it. Like, it was insane. Yeah, like, I was like, damn, we starting the episode off like this? Because that's how the episode starts. And I'm like, oh my word. No way this just happened straight off the bat. Like, what the? But no, it was a whole prophecy and dream sequence, and it looked absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. The stuff with the kid with the sword, that's interesting. And especially how they ended this episode with that. That to me was super interesting. Where's that storyline going to go? That is obviously a big part of the storyline. We also got to look at the father that is with the orcs. That was interesting as well. I like that idea, and I'm interested to see where that's going to go. There's so much here in this episode that I thought was absolutely incredible. It looks brilliant. I mean, it's fucking stellar how good this show looks. It looks absolutely incredible. I have no single problems with any of the effects in this show. It's just every week I watch it and I'm like, bruh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's outrageously gorgeous. Plot lines are starting to make sense to me. The characters, I'm starting to enjoy the characters more. Galadriel, I'm starting to get on board with now as well. I really like the whole moment that she has with that island and with the Queen and bringing them together to fight this one evil. I thought that was an absolutely fantastic moment as well. I fell in love with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any real serious issues with this. It's going to be interesting to see these particular people who obviously have an agenda against shows because they go in looking for certain things that aren't even there instead of just watching the show for what it is. they're already like, yo, that person can't be that person, that can't be this, that can't be. It's like, it's all bullshit. I'm interested to see what their criticisms will be of this episode, because I think it was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this, and I was a bit worried after episode 3. I really was, because I was watching episode 3, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of bored by this now. I don't know what the hell we're working towards here. There's so many things happening that just aren't working for me. But then I remembered back to episode 2, and I was like, wait a second, episode 1 did the same thing. And it was very, very pacey with its, like, that was the biggest issue, was its pacing. It was very, very slow. And I felt episode 3 did that. And I was like, episode 2, though, was good. And it hooked me in straight away. And I was praying that episode 4 was going to take from episode 2 and do what that did well, but better again. And that's what it did for me. And now I am fully invested in the actual show. I'm praying that episode 5 isn't going to suffer the same issues as episode 1 and 3 for me with the pacing. I really hope that doesn't happen, because last week's episode was only like an hour long, and it felt a lot longer than that. This one was an hour and 10, but this didn't feel like an hour and 10 at all. This felt like it was like 45 minutes. I was checking at the end, and I was like, oh, it was an hour and 10 long. Didn't feel like it. So I'm hoping episode 5 stays with this pacing structure, and we get to start to see things move forward, because now things are getting linked. We have the star, the falling star, that was mentioned in here as well, so that's all linked. Things are starting to get put together, and now with an idea of where we could go, I'm super, super excited for the next episode. Really am. So I'm on board now. Absolutely on board. Love this episode. I think it's the best one so far. And now I have really high expectations and high hopes moving forward. So let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.